Okay, so 601, I told you I was going to make this video, but for some reason I can't find, you'll see. Alright, let's go to page 48, and we did this in class. Okay, so we did most of this in class on page 48, but I'm going to do problem number 22. Okay, and 22 said, and let me write this down, 22 had a problem. The expression, they gave an expression 1.8 C plus 32. Okay, this expression is to convert between, and I'll write it over here, Fahrenheit and Celsius. Now, the rest of the world uses Celsius. Okay, we measure temperature in Celsius, but the United States measure temperature in Fahrenheit mostly. Okay, so this is to convert back and forth. So let's say, and the question says, let's say in Rio de Janeiro, okay, Brazil, the temperature there is 30 Celsius. What would it mean to us here living in the United States? Well, you would plug this number over here. So in this case, C equals 30 Celsius. So let's see what happens. So you get 1.8, that's a decimal hit job by the way, okay, 1.8 times 30 plus 32. Okay, we have to multiply, and let me multiply this on the side, 1.8 times 30, which would be 0, 24, 5, it would be 54. 54 plus 32. Okay, you add this up and you get 86. So that would mean that it's 86 Fahrenheit, 86 degrees, little bowling thing goes over there. So if it's 30 Celsius, okay, in Rio de Janeiro, it would mean that the temperature in the measurement that we use here in the United States, which is Fahrenheit, it would mean that it's 86 degrees in Rio de Janeiro, which is a pretty nice warm day. Okay, but that was 22. We did 23. Okay, 23. The mistake that the girl made was that when she substituted, okay, and here's the expression, 3x plus 2. Oops, 3x plus 2. Okay, and they told you that x was 5. When she substituted, she did 3. She took away the x. She plugged in 5, and she left it like that, plus 2. So this became 35, which is not what you're supposed to do. Remember, when you have a coefficient and a variable next to each other like this, like you had 3x, you're supposed to multiply those numbers. She left it as 35, which is not the case. You were supposed to multiply 15. 3 and 5 is 15 plus 2 gives you 17. Okay, that was the answer to that. So on the back page, I believe it's page 54, one of them, and that's what I mean. On the back page, I only have one page. I can't find the other one. If I do, I'll post another video. But let's go over to this. So number 1, n divided by 8. Okay, and I'll just keep writing the answers. Would be this. Number 2, p multiplied by 4 would be p4. But remember what I said. Instead of p4, we actually write it as 4p. Does it make a difference? No. But everyone writes the coefficient first and then the variable second. Okay? And besides, because it's commutative, remember, the order does not matter. So the answer won't matter, but it does make it, what do you call it? The order doesn't matter, but we write with the coefficient first and the variable second. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay? 3 groups of W. 3 groups of W. You know what? I think in class I said W divided by 3, but 3 groups of W means 3 groups of W. 3 of means times, and you get 3W, which is 3W. Okay? Sum of 1 and Q is 1 plus Q. Quotient of 13 and Z means division. 13 divided by Z. C added to 45 is C plus 45. H less than 30. Okay, if you actually do this, you get H minus 30, but because it's less than, let's make our little switcheroo. So you get 30 minus H. And 47 subtracted from M, again 47. Subtract means this, and M. But you got to make that change. Okay. I'm going to actually just read, though I have the feeling that we did this in class. So number 9, m plus 8. You can just write m plus 8, or the sum of m plus 8. Number 2 was 42s, or you can write 42 times a number, which in this case s. or you can write the product of 42 and S. 11, V over D, you can write it as V over D, you can write as the quotient of V and 12, or V divided by a number. I'm sorry, V divided by 12. 12 is T minus 29. You can write T minus 29 just the way you say it, or you can say it in another fancy way. You can say 29 less than T. Okay. 13 is 32 minus R, so you can write R subtracted from 32, R less than 32, or 32 minus R. 14 is 9B, so you can write the product of 9 and B, or 9 multiplied by B. 15, it says 20 over D, so you can write the quotient of 20 and D. Okay. And K plus 32 is the last one, which gives you the sum of K and 32, or K plus 32. Okay. 17. Chi's score on the test was 12 points greater than Julia's score. Let K represent Chi's score. So Chi got a score. This is his score. We don't know, but let's that represent. So we want to know how much Julia scored. Okay. So Chi got 12 points. Says Chi's score on the test was 12 points greater than Julia. So whatever Chi got, it was higher than Julia. So to find out what Julia got, you would take Chi scores and subtract from 12. And you would know what Julia scored. Okay, because Chi got 12 points more than her. Alright, so if he got, let's say, I don't know, let's say he got 100, to find out what Julia got, you would do 100 minus 12, and that would give you 88, which is Julia's score. Okay. 18. The town of Rayburn received 6 more inches of snow than the town of Greenville. So let G represent the amount of snow in Greenville. So this is how much snow fell in Greenville. G. How much snow did it fall in Rayburn? Well, Rayburn got, so whatever fell in Greenville, if you add 6, you would find out how much it fell in Rayburn. So here's your expression, G plus 6. Okay. Abby baked 48 cookies and divided them evenly into bags. So let B represent the number of bags. Write an algebraic expression to represent the number of cookies in each bag. Okay, so you would get represent the number of cookies in each bag, because if you did 48, which is the total amount of cookies, and you put them in bags, okay, there you go, 48 divided over B, 48 over B, or the quotient of 48 and B. Okay. Again, remember, if you have difficulties, just plug in a number. Okay. Change the question. Okay. So, for example, this one, you could have changed the question to Abby baked 48 cookies and divided them evenly into bags. She put them into 6 bags. So what would you do to find out how many cookies went in each bag? Well, she cooked 48 cookies. She put them in 6 bags, so each bag got 8 cookies. This is the part that we made up. So if we don't know this part, it would translate to a variable. Okay, Eli is driving at a speed of 55 miles per hour. Let H represent the number of hours he drives. Okay, so he drives 55 miles per hour every hour. So if it was 1 hour, you would take the H out. So in 1 hour, 55 times 1, he drove 55 miles. But if he drove 2 hours, 55 times 2 would be 110 miles. And so forth, and so forth, and so forth. So you can actually test out your expression to see that it actually makes sense. Okay? And we have one more question here. Explain the difference between B divided by 10. Here's B divided by 10. If I want B divided by 10 would mean take B and cut it into 10 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cut B in 10 pieces. So that's what it means, B divided by 10. Okay? And then B divided into 10. Well, here's 10. And you want B divided, so B divided into 10. So how many times can b go into 10? Well, we don't know because we don't know the value of b. But to write this, so to write the second part, b divided into 10 would be 10 divided by b. Okay? And give me a second. I'm going to take a look to see if I find the other page, and then I'll come back. Alright, so let's do page 49. So look at your handout. Go to page 49. And we had tables. So first table, number 1, it was n, and n plus 8 squared. So that's what you had. And you had to plug in values. So, for example, 7. If n is 7, what's the value of this expression right here? So you take the 7, put it here, and calculate. Well, remember order of operations, you have to do the exponents first. 8 to the second power is 64, plus 7 is 71. 9. What happens when n is 9? Well, you plug it in there again. 9 plus 8 to the second power. And 64 plus 9 is 73. Okay, and then there's 22. What happens when n is 22? 22 plus 8 squared. So you get 64 plus 22, which is 86. And finally, you get 35. What happens when n is 35? When n is 35, it's 35 plus 8 squared. And 64 plus 35 is 99, I think. Yeah, it works. 2. N, 25 minus n. Okay? So the expression is 25 minus n, and you have a bunch of values for n. So what happens when n equals 5? So you have to go to this side and do 25 minus 5, which is 20. So when it's 5, the answer is 20. What happens when it's 18? You do 25 minus 18, which is 7. What happens when it's 9? You can do 25 minus 9, which is, I don't know, 16. Okay. 3. It's n, and the expression was n times 7. Okay. So what happens when n is 9? When n is 9, you would plug it in here. So you get 9 times 7, which is 63. What happens when n is 11? You do 11 times 7, which is 77. When it's 12, you do 12 times 7, which is 84. Okay. Number 4, you get n. Okay. And they want you to try 24 divided by n. Let's try 6. What happens to this when it's 6? So it's 24 divided by 6, which is 4. What happens when it's 4? 24 divided by 4, which is 8. And what happens when it's 8? 24 divided by 8, which is 3. Let's see. And then we have 5, which is n plus 15. Okay, so this one is easier. Very easy. So when it's 35, you have to plug it in. So you get 35 plus 15. And you get 50. What happens when it's 5? So you plug it in, you get 5 plus 15, which is 20. When it's 20, you get 20 plus 15, which is 35. And what happens when it's 85? 85 plus 15, which is 90, 100. Okay. And finally, the last column, n times 2 to the third power. Okay, so let's see what happens in this expression. But what happens when n is 7? So you have to plug it in here, and you get 7 times 2 to the third power. Remember order of operations. You can't multiply 7 and 2. You got to figure out what 2 to the third power is. 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, and 8 times 7 is 56. What about 4? Go 4 times 2 to the third power. 2 to the third power we just found out was 8, times 4 is 32. When it's 10, you go 10 times 2 to the third power. 2 to the third power is 8 times 10 is 80. And finally 13, which is 13 times 2 to the third power. And 8 times 13 is, I don't know, 104. Okay. And at the bottom, 7 and 8. The car's traveling at a speed of 55 miles an hour. Didn't we just do this one? Well, so we want to know, write an algebraic expression to show how far the car will travel a certain amount of hours. So here is, I can drive 55 miles per hour. So if h is 1, I drove 55. If h is 2, okay, let me do if h is 1. If I drove 1 hour, substitute, I drove 55 miles. So if h is 2, what happens if I drive 2 hours? Then I'm going to go 110 miles. All right, so here's my expression. Again, same one that I just did. For some reason it's the same. And I can use that for any number of hours. I can say, what happens when I drive 1,000 hours, 2,000 hours, 100 hours? I can use this expression to figure out how far I can go. Now, they have two questions. Looking at 55 times h, or just 55h, who's my constant? There is no constant here. 55 is called a coefficient. And the h here is called a variable. Remember, when a number is next to a letter, the number is called a coefficient. Okay. And then finally, Shawnee valued the algebraic expression x divided by 4, and he was told that x equals 12. So to do this, you would take the x out, and you plug in 12 divided by 4, and your answer, or Sean's answer, should have been 3. How he got 8 is beyond me. Maybe he confused this division sign with a subtraction sign. Okay, I don't know where the other page is, and that's what I meant before. So I'll try to do this tomorrow, I guess, in class if you still have questions on that page. Okay, and just for you guys, 601. Your secret word for 601, I guess. You get 2 secret words. One because for the review test, state test review that you've been doing, and one for this particular homework if you actually came. So here, I'm going to put the words that I see on my TV screen. And everybody knows what that is. Okay. So show me tomorrow. Alright? And that's that.